Well, I got into sim racing because I think I was at PAX East 2020 iRacing booth with their huge, I don't know how much money it costs, but I can only imagine how much it costs simulator, the hydraulic seat and everything like that. I've been a NASCAR fan for a long time, and I love NASCAR video games, and I was looking for a good uh, racing game in general too. But because the Heat series is so great, I'm sorry. Uh, I went to iRacing. I absolutely fell in love with it, but I only started reaching out to leagues because I wanted to get a little serious. Um, so I'm not extremely experienced. Yeah, I don't have the time for it as much as I'd like to, but it's a fun time, and I'm glad that I found a great league.
Well, you said that you don't have no time. What takes up the majority of your time? Like, what do you do outside of sim racing?
I have a I work as a handyman full time. I love playing golf. I play hockey. I'm in men's leagues for both. Um,
Where you from?
I'm from Massachusetts,
We're at
so
Massachusetts.
I grew up in Western Mass, and I've since moved to Eastern Mass. So not too many NASCAR fans up here. So I need to. I kind of I love talking with the league because it's really my only outlet to talk NASCAR.
Well, I mean I think this is by far a NASCAR loving league. So you picked a damn good one if you're asking me.
Hmm.
So what are some of your favorite tracks on sim racing?
I love Darlington.
Oh well,
I
that's the home of one of your best finishes. I say that's
Yeah.
there. That explains it. Okay,
Hmm.
why do you like
I love
Darlington?
I love riding up near the wall, so I love Homestead as well. Um,
Okay,
I love just getting close to the wall, having a loose truck. It's always fun. I'm getting more into road course racing. I've never really liked it growing up, just because it was too hard to navigate Watkins Glen with a GameCube controller. So, and now that I have a wheel and pedals, it's a lot more fun than with a controller. So I've been road course racing a lot, Charlotte Roval, Daytona Roval, and anywhere where I can run close to the wall.
well I tell you right now, I hate running up towards that damn wall, and you will never find me running up towards that damn wall. If there's a way to get around the bottom, I'm gonna figure it out. So,
Hmm.
kudos to you. You have any plans, like any goals in sim racing, or maybe some goals in life you have coming forward that you're looking forward to or aiming towards?
Would love to get a top 10. Yeah, I'm chasing that high. My first race in the league, the preseason Thunder. So I'm just chasing that win, that euphoric feeling of winning. It's probably not going to come, at least for the short term, because I know how many spectacular racers are in this league. But I'm just hoping for more consistency this season and hopefully a top 10 or two.
Well, I totally get that. I think those are very respectable goals, especially on the sim racing side. So, well, we appreciate your time there, Aiden. Turn you some laps. You'll get that consistency. Hopefully, I don't have to deal with you at Darlington because I'll find a way around that bottom somehow. Okay, so you just run that
All
wall
right.
for me. All right.
I'll try not to scrape any paint. Alrighty, thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Aiden.
it.
Appreciate you, bud. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Aiden 2 So, got to touch on a couple things here. Rough beginning. My bad. I'm a noob. Still figuring out the controls, so it is what it is. Anyways, so that was Aiden DuPont, one of our newest league members here. Well, as y'all see, I have Elliot and Eric here above me and on one of my sides. I don't know which one y'all see. But these are our cohorts that we're going to discuss our races here. Elliot won the truck race on Tuesday night, and looked like he's going to win the race on Friday night as well, but just didn't pan out. So what happened? Like what happened on Tuesday? What happened on Friday? Both damn good races, if you ask me.
My friends left me on Friday. I had you for a while, and I mean, I think we owned that place for a good bit. But towards the end, it was me and Ty, and didn't really work out. I think Friday showed exactly what the class is in our field and who's going to run up front on a weekly basis. You had a lot of the normal guys. We had 2511, we had all the E95 boys up there. So I think Friday night shows kind of a glimpse of what we're going to see throughout the season. A lot of what that was honestly me leading, which I didn't anticipate, and kind of the thing I should have taken from the truck race was the fact that the guy that led the most laps there, Hunter, didn't win that one. So basically, what we had was two races where the guy that dominated the event ended up. Well, he got to at least finish third. I finished somewhere in like 16th or something in the cup race. But it is what it is. We'll go on. But I think both races showed who's going to be running up front on a weekly basis. And, overall, we had fantastic finishes for both of them. I think we definitely could have had a better finish in the Xfinity / Premier Series. But, looking back on it, I think Ty made the right move. Like, I think him going to the top with 1 or 2 laps to go, whatever that was the right move. There was just a bad bump at that point, and it kind of shuffled people out. And then he threw a block later, and it was something. But I think overall, both races were spectacular. You can go rewatch them broadcast on YouTube and catch back up on them. But both races ended up with, I think, 1 lap led by me and then 1 lap led by Barb. That was it. We both led the last lap off turn 4, and that was all it was. So,
So that's
yeah,
exactly what happened. Well, Eric,
yeah.
what did you see out of your windshield?
I saw a bunch out of my windshield because I was hanging in the back for most of both of those races, just kind
Boomer in
of
the
trying to
back.
keep.
Boomer in the back.
Yeah. I was just trying to stay out of trouble. But you know what I saw? I saw that we had 2 relatively clean races, and on iRacing, you don't always get that. I think both races may have had 3 cautions each, if I'm not mistaken. Which for a league race at Daytona or an official race at Daytona, that's really really good. So kudos to everybody in both races. They were very very clean races, and they turned out really really well for the league.
I think the positive to that is saying, Premier had 3 cautions, but remember we had that stage in there. So technically we had 2 cautions. And I think that, that was an added bonus for this year, trying to switch up what the Premier Series is. And I think that you're going to see a lot with those stages to help kind of take away that aggression immediately. I mean, we saw a bunch of it. We were running too wide for most of those first 20 laps, but at the same time, it lets you know, hey, there's a break coming up. Like, get your points out of that stage, but just know you've got that break, and then you can race after that. There's no sense in wrecking before you can even get points.
Yeah, but I kind of
And some of the
well, I kind of have to say right there where I felt probably with about 3 to go in that stage, I felt it ramp up. It really ramped up there. And, I kind of, from what I was seeing and what I was deciding on doing, I was just kind of riding there to kind of see what would happen. And it just shook out in my favor there getting towards the end. I just ended up where they broke up the top and was running 3 wide. They didn't seem organized up there as we were on the bottom. And then, that allowed us to run to the finish line. But, it does settle because as soon as we ran through that pit stop, it came back out. It felt like a different, it was different at that point. Everybody just raced to the line, reset, and that's what it really felt like behind the wheel from my perspective. Eric.
And you're correct. I mean, some of the best racing that we've ever seen, on super speedways in this league were those couple laps before the stage break, stage caution, and I just look forward to seeing what kind of strategy and what kind of racing happens, in the races going forward in Premier.
Well,
I think there's a lot to take away from those two because you had, a lot of top guys finish up front as well with, Hunter Madalinas, Zachary Henry, and those other guys really running. Austin Moore, Rod Fossema, Matt Daniels, like a lot of guys truck-wise finished up front that we may or may not anticipate on a different basis. So it'll be interesting to see when we get closer towards playoff time where those guys end up. I mean, someone like Rod, like a 5th-place finish is huge for him to potentially carry him to a, there's kind of 3 battles going on. There's that battle to try to lead the points going into the playoffs and be that guy that everyone's looking at when we come to the championship. There's that battle to just make the playoffs, make that top 12, I believe it is, in trucks this season. And then there's that battle for that top 25 to lock yourself into this race next season. Like, I know that was a conversation point within my team. Just run the season out. Like, we had 2 or 3 drivers between Tyler, Breyer, obviously myself because I didn't run full time last season, but you have to lock yourself in. And it's just stressful at Daytona to have to do that, whether it's 1 or 2 people going home or 20. So I think for someone like Rod, for Matt, who may or may not run full time, I think he's full time this season, but I feel like sometimes he misses weeks, at least in previous seasons. It's good for those guys to run up front and get those solid finishes now that could potentially carry them into an easy top 25 lock later on this season.
Well, and that just sets up confidence for more consistent finishes as well. And they're going to go into the next event, feeling good, and they're going to put forth the effort out on the racetrack, and that's what good finishes does to you. And the more you ramble off, the better you get. So, well, next week we got the trucks headed to Vegas, one of my favorite tracks. I just love that place. And then we have the Premier guys going to Phoenix. So, Eric, what do you think is going to happen in GLTS at Vegas? Do you think we're going to see the respectfulness that we've seen at Daytona?
I think we will. I mean, these 1.5-mile tracks, it lets the field lets the field get spread out if we can get some green flag runs, and I think that hopefully with the new penalty system that we have in place this season, where we do have an off-track admin that is monitoring the races and the incidents and handing out penalties as he sees fit during the race, I think that's going to affect how people choose to race in the league going forward.
That showed on Tuesday. Let's be honest.
Oh, I absolutely think so.
On Tuesday, Elliot.
Absolutely.
So, Xfinity cars, we're going Phoenix. And
yeah, really quick to touch on the Vegas portion, though.
Yes, touch on Vegas for us, Elliot.
That is a super speedway event, boys. That is literally run wide open for at least 10 laps. We're going to see something interesting there, I can promise you.
A little key of note, if you're running wide open for 10 laps, your
tires are gone.
Do not be running wide open for 10 laps. Breathe it a little bit. Give them.
But what I'm telling you is, people are going to do it.
I know.
People are going to do it.
I know.
So, Elliot, I want to know. Elliot, I want to know what's going to happen between you and Jake on Tuesday.
I don't know. Hopefully we finish 1-2 and I'm on the better end of it because I'm Listen, I picked races in the truck series that I won last season. That's the whole goal, is to go and repeat back and keep my winning streak there. I'm the only one to win at Vegas because we've only gone once. So that's the goal. Whatever happens, happens. But if I can share a 1-2 finish with Jake yet again, I'll take it.
It sounds like fun. So the Phoenix, take a swallow. Take a swallow. There you go. Wet that whistle. Phoenix.
Yep.
Xfinity cars.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think between you, me, Chris, I'm sure Nanny and other guys will be up there. Bransky will be fast. I think you're going to see another really good race. The last time we were there in the Cup car, I think we saw a fantastic end. It was a long time ago now, I feel like, but I think it came down to a green, white, checkered and just home the mail with 3 laps to go between you, myself, Chris. And I know Chris is hungry for one because he led, 3/4 of that lap?
He's always hungry for a win.
He led so many laps in that race. So, I mean, we'll see. We got some aggressive boys out there, but I know I'm looking for a bounce back after how Daytona went, and everyone else is going to be chomping at the bit to try to put themselves in a good spot moving forward. But I think the biggest thing is going to be who wins that stage and really paying attention to those stage points. Because, I mean, leaving Daytona, I finished 16th, but I'm like top 10 in points just based off winning a stage. So I think that's a crucial factor to throw into this as well.
Eric.
Something else to think about. This is New Phoenix as well, correct?
Yes, it is New Phoenix. I was going to make the point of the different start finish line. I have yet to run a lap around that place or run a race.
Hey.
I think you're going to really tell the difference in a race of the different start finish line. How has that changed? Because Elliot, I'm sure you've ran a race there. Eric, I'm sure you have. Does it change?
I have not.
Oh, you haven't? Okay. Eric, Elliot. Does it change kind of how you approach the racetrack? Kind of how you approach your starts and restarts? Like, what's the biggest difference there?
Definitely changes your starts and restarts because now you have that open space that you didn't have before with iRacing. So I think from a racing perspective, it's going to be really hard to beat that guy on a green white checkered. If you're the leader and you lose that race, it's simply because you didn't have the drive through the middle of the corner to actually get off the corners. Otherwise, throughout the race, the biggest thing, especially come down to that stage finish, if it ends up under green, is just going to be trying to make sure that you can get that run down through the dog leg into what is now 1 and 2. Because if you can get through 1 and 2, then you'll have that fighting chance that we saw with Daniel Hemrick and Austin Cindric through 3 and 4 and to the checkered flag. So it'll be interesting. There's definitely a new way to set up how to run it, but I think the restarts are going to be the most crucial point. And, maybe that comes with us changing rules and not allowing people to jump instantly, but it could cause a lot of chaos depending on when people end up jumping on those restarts.
Well, and those restarts really come down to people paying attention. I mean, you've
Yep.
got to pay attention to what's going on around you and what's happening 4, 5, 8 cars in front of you. There's times you've got to analyze that before you pay attention to what's happening immediately in front of you. And
Yeah, man, people should have been doing that at Daytona.
yeah, it definitely helps. Definitely helps no matter where you're at.
Yep.
At Daytona, you want to be rolling into the gas, trying to go. So as soon as it's time to go, you just mat it. That's all you got to do is just mat it.
Yep.
So that's a need to attempt to do that everywhere. But here I would say it might be a little awkward in the corner as well. I know in a lot of these short tracks that I run in the Super, there's a lot of like at Lanier and even at Hickory, we restart way up high and then shoot straight down. Is there some sort of trick like that? Restarting at Phoenix in that area now?
There was, but now you're starting on the front stretch, basically. I mean, the pace car still leaves at the same point, so you can still launch at that same point, but now you just have the whole front stretch. So now you can actually, from third, fourth, fifth on back, make a move if you have the positioning to do so, because they may not launch until you're basically at turn 3. So there's just so much more space that you can utilize that if you have that bottom lane and you can jump it, you might be able to make something out of it going into the corner.
But I do want to add in here, and I feel like let's be respectful on the let's make them look legit. Let's not let the pace car pull off and just take off. Let's not do that. Okay, guys, come on. Let's at least get to a corner before we start taking off. I beg of you.
Yeah, ideally we would launch going into 3. That way we're all straight down the straightaway too.
Yes. So. But I think it'll be a good race. Personally, I enjoy Phoenix. I like the old one better. That's just me. I don't like that turn, whatever it is now, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. But it's a fun track, really fun track, especially in these Phoenix cars. I love the way these things drive. So, they're quite a bit of fun. Now, when the trucks go to Las Vegas, and this is an Elliot, I mean Eric, this is kind of what I want to touch with you on. What would be the best way for these guys to get around there, safely and respectfully around their competitors?
I think it's just knowing truck control, car control, vehicle control, and knowing what you can handle when you're going into these corners. Like Elliot said, there are going to be a few laps at least where you can probably easily run flat out. But, when the tires start to wear, you need to know where you can place your truck and where other trucks can place themselves around you and give room as you need to, because we just want as much good green flag racing as we can see.
And it's going to help having Michael up there with his eyes over the field, kind of keeping watch, because he ain't gonna miss nothing. He didn't miss nothing at Daytona. He ain't gonna miss nothing at Vegas either. I can guarantee that.
No, there were some comments in the chat after the race. Oh, he got me. On some of the penalties that were handed out post race.
It was coming though. They knew it was coming, and that's what we were after. That's what we're after.
Mm-hmm.
That's that kind of stuff. Is in your mind when you're on the racetrack, and you're going to change how you drive, and it just is an overall better race. Everybody came out of that race in a good mood. Might have got wrecked, but overall a good mood. And
and nobody was mad at each other. Nobody was mad really for the most part.
Well, I mean, no, not as bad as it's been. Let's just say that. For sure. So, a couple of topics we want to talk about that's going on with you guys. I'm gonna let Eric take. We've kind of divvied them out. There's a little way I want to do this. Based off the beginning of how this podcast went, I'm not sure how this is gonna go, but we'll see.
We'll find out together.
We will find out together, just like the rest of us found out. So, topics and announcements and news. Eric, if you want to start with the ones I gave you.
All right. Well, the first thing would be happy birthday, Mr. Elliot Henderson.
Yes, happy
Hey, thanks.
birthday. How old are you, Elliot?
Oh, we don't want to discuss that.
He doesn't
but,
want to discuss that.
About a day
Yeah.
over 22. Good job.
Yeah, it's the late 20s, but we'll just leave it at that.
But Elliot got a great birthday present, early birthday present this week because what happened? He got a win in the Road to Pro series earlier this week at Daytona. So congratulations to that. What do you want to say about that, Elliot?
Yeah, how'd you pull that off?
I mean, I don't know. We literally, did the same thing that you saw in the truck race with Hunter Madalinas. We were just pushing and pushing and pushing, and coming to the white flag, everyone started to kind of, move, maneuver, and wreck off turn 4, and we made the move to the outside and got it done. But, really looking forward to what that is. I was a part of the Kligerman dev team last season with Gritty Sports, and it was a ton of fun with all those boys, but we ended up moving away from them this season. And now we're just working with Michael Levine and Brendan Barkuski and our teammates Chris Heller and Jacob Bransky, Nathan Nicholson, and all these other guys are working with us as kind of this new, I'm going to call it the LFR operation at this point. We're kind of a small team that could just building setups and hoping that we could go somewhere with it. And, a win to start, it's awesome.
Why don't you tell us a little bit more about that, Elliot? Tell us what's
Yeah, that was part of our news.
Yeah, so we'll lead into that. So E95 is the new split-second esports. Basically, Michael Levine and I kind of decided to just build this out into a team since Eric has left us recently, and I'm not sure how active Pete is. Pete's still running for us, and we love him. He's a good guy, but we've started to build out this team and esports operation with Road to Pro and other drivers. So E95 is basically a branch from. The E is not really Elliot, but it's like a backwards 3 because I run the 37, and then the 95 is just synonymous with Levine Family Racing because that's what number they ended up with. It just they I don't exactly know the major backstory behind it, but it's what they've stuck with through Cup up until their team shut down. So that's what we ended up with, E95 Esports, and we'll see where that goes moving forward. But Michael Levine's jumped on full time, and we're interested to see how far we can take it.
Well, and Michael also ran that 95 on his late model when he was racing as well. So that
Yes.
must be a very deep family number for the Levine. So
Well,
congratulations on that.
when we get Michael in here, we're going to have to ask him about
we'll
that
have
number and what it means to them.
Absolutely. We'll have to get him on the show one day. So, Michael Levine, if you're listening, you're due up next week. Okay. So we got 2 more topics here that are left to yours truly. Number 1 here, our very own Jeff Johnson is moving to the great state of North Carolina, God's country. He's moving down here to be with Eric, myself.
Whoa.
Well, not. I mean, to become friends. I mean, to be around the cool ones. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So Eric's joining us down here, and also our very own Mr. Briar Fritz.
Our original commentator, by the way.
Yes, that's right. I forgot. Yes.
If you go back to this YouTube channel, you can go check out some of
video
his
after this
broadcasts.
one is probably him.
Every
Yeah.
single one.
So,
Scared for anybody looking back.
go give them some views. He put a ring on it. Elliot recorded it. Y'all watch. Okay, so we're probably going to get DMC'd, whatever it is for that. My bad. Sorry, guys. Well, whatever. It's worth it. Congratulations, Briar.
Thanks, Luke.
Yeah, thanks, Luke. Yeah, congratulations, Briar. I'm proud of you, buddy. Good job.
Yep. Congratulations, Briar and Joanne.
Yep. All right, so to wrap it up, I've got a couple minutes here. Nice Wonger is on his way home from Florida from hanging out. He's in that one of them pictures that keep on fluttering through there. with Elliott. That's what Breyer, Elliott, Ashton, and whom? Who was all
Hunter
the
Madalinas.
Hunter
Yep, old.
Madalinas.
Oh, Hunter Madalinas, big time winner from last season.
Hunter Madalinas. You got old Jacob Manning flying in the air. That was that big old pit entry fiasco that we came into. I made my way through that like a damn pro.
I did not. I hit Heller in that.
There's a bunch of Spectrum cars. Look at them. Well, trucks. Look at those. Looking good. Looking good. Gavin leading. Enjoy that picture where you see it. There's us coming to the line. Taking the green. Some good stuff in that Premier Series. And there's Elliott taking the checkers.
Well, who was on the pole for that Premier Series race?
Oh, it was me.
Yeah, you learned how to qualify at these
which
tracks.
was very shocking. I do say so myself. Very shocking. So, but
And I didn't have to teach you anything.
No, I just pedal down. Well, hell, in the Winter Series, I hit the wall. that just killed me the rest of the time. So, whatever. Screw Talladega. So, just since Nicewonger's on his way back home, I'm gonna do his little fantasy picks. I'd like for him to get down here and go through kind of what happened here. I don't know much about fantasy, so I picked my guys, and where I finish is pretty much going to tell you what I know. But Hunter Brittle, didn't know what the hell he was doing, but he figured it out, and he left Daytona with the most points. With Chris Whiting behind him, our driver spotlight, Mr. Aiden DuPont, finished third out of Daytona. Very own Shane Nicewоnger was fourth. Tyler McClellan was fifth. Brandon Barkuski sixth. Samuel Hoff, Bransky, Daniels. I don't know this name. I put question marks. Whoever it is, please let me know who it is, and I'll put your real name there. Hunter Madalinas, Ty Aiken, R.J. Williams, and Will Barbergilletta. So.
So Will goes from peaking during the Premier Series win to finishing last from fantasy. So at least he's good at one thing.
Fantasy picks is not it. I feel you, Will Barbergilletta. I get it. I get it. So with that being said, with that being ran down, I'm looking. Hopefully, there's episode 2. We'll see what everybody said after this.
To be determined, right?
To be D. Okay. But I thought it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed myself. Sorry for the hiccups there at the beginning. Always enjoyed to have Eric and Elliott hanging out. Y'all got anything to add?
No, I'm just looking forward to the next 2 races here before the next podcast episode we can do.
Yeah, I think I'll have to work out a little bit of a better race rundown and get some more information done. But yeah, looking forward to how they shape up and how the rest of these seasons go.
8 p.m. tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Friday night, right?
Yep.
8:30
on Friday. Sorry, we changed the time. Yep.
On FRN, Flat Out Racing Network. Our very own Jeff Johnson takes care of us up there. We love you, Jeff. We appreciate it, all the effort and work you do for us up in the broadcast booth.
I appreciate it so much. I'm helping him move on Monday.
Yes, I'm out of
What a
town on
guy.
Monday. I forgot to mention. So yeah, out of town, unable to help move. My bad.
Conveniently.
Conveniently, yes. But with that being said, you can catch our races on YouTube, as well as this podcast. I like to do it on Facebook, but I'm a poor man, so it's only on one streaming service at a time. That's all y'all getting, okay? So appreciate y'all hanging out with us, listening to us, having fun. Been real, it's been fun, but I've enjoyed it.
We'll do it again next week.
Yes, we will do it again.